Today, the 10-day belly slim down. It's a rapid plan that will flatten and de-bloat your midsection right here. Deprivation not included.
Deprivation not included? Sign me up.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Everyday Day Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification bar right over here, and share my videos. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts. In my opinion, of course, it's where I really just I don't restrain myself as much as this channel. I just kind of let it all hang out and give my opinion. So, subscribe to that thing too. I talk about fitness and non-fitness related stuff. Going to be doing some stuff about music. Also, anyway, that's for that channel. Go check that shit out. Anyway, I've built this channel off talking about the bullshit in the fitness industry when it comes to YouTube, mostly. YouTube, and I've started to touch on Instagram. But when in reality, a huge portion of people do not go to YouTube and they do not go to Instagram for their fitness motivation. A huge portion of people get that stuff off TV and cable and stuff like that. They find diets that stars use, that people that they watch on TV use or endorse. Dr. Oz happens to be somebody that was endorsing so many things in such a grandiose scale that Congress at one point in time called him in to discuss how, questionable some of his tactics were. When he would talk about it being a miracle drug or a miracle fat loss tool and stuff like that. When the experts in line call you in about your lying, that's impressive. It really is. Almost makes me think that he doesn't have a MD. Makes me think he has a PhD in marketing and lying. But that's just my opinion, of course. And YouTube, please keep this video up, because sometimes when you talk about larger people that are on TV, they take your video down immediately or that whatever. I got all of the video I'm using in this video off YouTube. I have altered it so it should be seen as fair use. So we shall see if this video stays up and the channel stays up and stuff like that. But Dr. Oz recently had somebody on his show talking about a 10-day belly slimming technique tool diet. So let's listen to what they have to say.
Let's go to the plan specifically. The first thing is you got to eliminate what you call the 10 belly bloater foods, which we've listed up here.
Yes.
To the people watching this show that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about when it comes to nutrition, diet, working out, anything like that, I am very, very sure that it is going to make very little sense. A lot of this is going to make very little sense. To people that know about fitness and nutrition and stuff like that, this is going to seem very, very rudimentary, if not complete bullshit. But they do a great job of leading the audience.
And so these are important, and it may seem not to make sense at first, but it will as we explain them. Beans, alcohol, dairy, gluten, high salt foods, artificial sweeteners, soft drinks, sugar, and even some of those high sugar fruits.
Now, honestly, I agree with a good portion of the list. I do believe you should limit sugar intake. Everybody should limit sugar intake. We take in way too much sugar, especially in the American diet. High fatty foods, high saturated fatty foods especially. I don't know why beans are on there, because legumes have good fiber and are a protein source and things like that. This does seem like a very paleo-ish diet, and this is what this is. It is a 10-day diet. I don't do diets, I do like nutrition. You can change your nutrition depending on your goals, or whether you want to lose weight, gain weight, that sort of thing, change your body composition. But this is a crash diet.
Right, so now you've gotten rid of these foods. So the next 10 days, we're going to show you the foods to eat. But there's a secret you have that's really important.
Secret weapon.
Oh, a secret weapon about to be disclosed on nationwide television.
You have a 7-hour window you're giving us to eat. 7 hours. It's your number one biggest secret.
It is.
A 17/7 intermittent fasting schedule is the number one tool. This is so clearly, and I mean so clearly, aimed at newbies. It's kind of disgusting to me at this stage already. So we're eliminating a ton of food. We're selling them on no deprivation. We are telling them there's this huge secret that we're now letting you in on that has literally been done for thousands of years.
See, here's what science is telling us. This is all science.
It's science. It's all science. Hey, person that knows absolutely nothing about fucking nutrition, this is all science. You should take what she is saying as absolute fact, because it's science, and she's on a show that has doctor in the name. Science, bitches.
That when we condense our food into a certain period of time, we really heighten that fat burning.
When we condense our food into a period of time, we heighten fat burning. It's like this is being sold to people that know nothing, that know absolutely nothing. This is like the people that buy into like this, if you drink this drink, your body's thermogenic nature will go up to the point where you burn 10 pounds off in X amount of time. Like the thermogenic nature of food is when you eat something and your body's temperature goes up, more energy of that food is spent towards making heat than it is actually being used for energy. And people then think that it's going to help you burn calories more. And even if it does, it's such a negligible amount that it does not absolutely matter at all. There's no heightened sense of fat burning because you eat food in a smaller window. It is calories in, calories out. The reason why intermittent fasting mainly works is because it restricts the time you have to eat. Therefore, if you're a big eater, you don't eat as much because you can't fit that much in your stomach.
All right, so for those 7 hours, here's what you're gonna eat. For breakfast, you can do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Bone broth.
2 things. First, you're eating breakfast at 11 a.m. That is normally lunch. If you're eating in a smaller window, you normally just skip breakfast or you skip dinner, as I said before, but I'm assuming this is skipping breakfast because you're eating at noon. So they can call it their breakfast. I guess they're still doing the 3-meal thing. But 2, bone broth. But bone broth is your breakfast. That's not a breakfast, that's a drink. As a tip, and this is in my book, Math and Willpower, How to Lose Weight and Keep It Off. But found it everydamndayfitness.net. Anyway, as a tip, don't drink your calories. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to restrict your calories. Don't depend on any of these little crazy tricks of science-based eating within a certain window that will help burn more fat and stuff like that. Restrict your calories, and one of the things you can do by that is not drinking your calories at all. You are going to be very hungry because you are going to be taking in less calories than what you normally take in, so you are actually going to want to be able to drink a lot of fluids in the form of water and also eat voluminous foods to fill yourself up so you're not starving to death and feeling deprived.
Bone broth.
We've been talking about bone broth in different ways, but this is actually a foundation of the mornings in your plan.
The foundations of the mornings in her plan is not eating, as she said before, because you eat around noon, 11 o'clock, and eat till 6 o'clock. So the foundation of breakfast in her plan, this deprivation plan, is not eating at all. Lunch now becomes bone broth. You're drinking bone broth for lunch.
It is, and here's why, because one of the things that I found out is that when your body gets what it needs, it's not always looking for something else.
As somebody that's lost 60 pounds in 122 days before, your body looks for food. Your body looks to be full. When people lose a dramatic amount of weight, hunger is involved at some point in time. Suck it up. That's the thing. Like that's the selling point they're trying to get across here. They're trying to say no deprivation. You can lose weight. You can make your stomach smaller without having any bad effects, like without having to feel hungry. That's what they're trying to sell to people, right? And this bone broth, this liquid, even though it has fats, minerals, vitamins, all that stuff in it, is going to somehow fill you up. Bone broth is about 30 to 45 calories a cup. You are not going to feel full off that. You are not at all. Your body's going to process that very quickly. You are going to feel very fucking hungry often, especially after 10 days of not having anything at all for breakfast, and then lunch, bone broth.
And bone broth is a way for you to get virtually no carbs, low calorie, lots of nutrition, and it's so easy and it's inexpensive to make, and that's why I love it so much. It's like a meal in a mug.
No, it's not a meal, because meals get masticated. They get chewed up and swallowed, and they feel like it's food in your stomach. That's a meal. A meal is not made up of liquid. There's not a liquid meal. The only liquid meals happen when you're on a cruise and you decide to just drink instead of going to the buffet because there's too many people there and you've been drinking since 9 a.m. Not that we did that this summer, but that is the truth. There's no meal in a cup that is just liquid.
So for the folks out there who are objecting vehemently now because they want a breakfast type food, you have something else. You have coffee bone broth.
One, coffee is not just for breakfast. My caffeine addiction says so. And 2, that is not a breakfast food. Foods get eaten. Foods get chewed up. This is literally coffee in bone broth.
So here's a little great trick for beef bone broth. Add a little espresso powder in there for a little extra kick. People love this. It's absolutely delicious. One of my favorite things in the morning.
People really love this.
Just such marketing genius how they're leading the television audience. People love this. Put some espresso in your bone broth. People love this.
They do. All these thousands and they do.
Let's find out
All
if they
these
love
thousands of people wouldn't be on it if they didn't.
All right, so you guys have been trying your coffee bone broth. I want some honest thoughts here.
You want some honest thoughts on your show. That's hilarious. But you want some honest thoughts from the people that just so happen to be in the front row of your show on this particular diet. You want some honest thoughts. They showed up, just so happened to show up on your show and be on this diet on this day and happen to be in the front row. And you want some honest thoughts. Okay.
I think it's delicious. It's great for in the morning.
I'm surprised they didn't retake that because this woman definitely needs some more acting lessons because that had absolutely no feeling to it at all.
And what do you like the most about it?
It does have a beef undertone, so I do taste that, and the caffeine as well.
So a hint of beef, but I can't even taste the caffeine. You get it?
I taste it at the end.
I swear, and this is no shit, I swear, I've seen that woman as an extra on some TV shows. I swear I have.
What do you?
I like that it's warm and comforting.
You like different things. It's fantastic.
That one was scripted so well. That was awesome. It was like all the words. It's comforting. It's like all the words that people want to hear about what's going to be a starvation diet, right? And then he's like, good job. You like to try new things. That's good job. Like he's like pandering to the audience. Like, yes, you need to try this. You need to try new things. This is like a marketing seminar. This is not a TV show by an MD. This is a marketing seminar on how to sell bullshit to people that don't know shit.
Happy customers? You all happy?
Yes.
I get they're in. They like it. Now, for lunch and for dinner, you have Slim-gestion food.
For lunch, we have Slim-gestions. I love the marketing name. Slim-gestions. You're going to ingest this, but it's going to make you slim. It's fucking brilliant. It really is.
These are foods that you can get away with and won't make you feel hungry the rest of the day. So walk us through what you have for lunch.
Okay, so for lunch, one of my favorite things with these Slim-gestion foods is smoothies and shakes are wonderful. This one is great. It's a matcha powder smoothie. It's great. And you can see here.
They are doing an amazing job of stretching the definition of what is considered meals, foods, and filling. So we're going to have a smoothie for lunch after we've had bone broth for breakfast. I can't even, how can they look in the camera and be like, this is a real thing? These are not meals, people. And anybody, again, they're going to be starving. They're going to want to put some stuff in them. These things, from what the picture looks like, it's like unsweetened coconut milk, beef protein powder, matcha powder, a sweetener, and some greens. That is not a big. That's not even a big shake. So far, we've taken in next to no protein. Seriously, almost no fiber. We have some vitamins and minerals from the bone broth and from the leafy greens and some other stuff, but this is seriously, we've taken in a decent amount of fats, but this is a very seriously calorically low intake so far. This is a crash diet. That's all this is. This is a crash diet. This is a starvation diet for people. Not only is this not a lot of calories, but the food volume is extremely low, and food volume is radically important. If you don't fill your stomach up and you're used to filling your stomach up, this is going to absolutely fucking suck for you.
You put a little bit of vegetables in there, you put some coconut milk in there, some ice, and if you want a little sweetener, some stevia, a monk fruit, and of course the maca powder. It's really great. And so it keeps you really full for a long period of time.
This is a deprivation diet. This is not going to fill you up. This is just not. Especially, and this is the reality, especially if what your lifestyle has normally been. If you have normally eaten several times by now, by this time of day, by 3 o'clock, which is when their lunch is, if you've normally eaten 3 times by now, or twice by now, you're going to be very, very, very hungry. You are going to feel extremely deprived.
And all of these foods, the Slim-gestion, what that means, it's reducing inflammation in your body.
Which one would you pick? The bone broth or the, what would you call this?
This is the coconut matcha.
Coconut matcha.
Coconut matcha.
Shocking! The drink she just so happens to have in her hand.
Look at that smile on her face. There's a happy customer. I think they're both fantastic.
Yeah, and
I'm so
they
impressed.
actually keep you full.
Yeah, she's happy. She's getting paid.
And this is your dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, bone broth. If you want a snack.
You can have, so if you want a snack anytime, it's always on your plate. It's always go for bone broth, and you can even put some vegetables in bone broth and make it a soup.
It is always a go. Bone broth is always a go. 30 calories a cup is always a go. Yeah, I mean, you're going to feel totally full on that stuff. Like, I mean, no, seriously, I was completely wrong before. I don't know anything what I'm talking about. You know, my weight loss was a fluke. You know, me coaching bunches and bunches and bunches of people from obese states to healthy weights, total fluke. You know, my thought process of actually eating food, ingesting stuff, so like your system stays running and all like that, and like building a healthy lifestyle to where like people actually, you know, develop a good relationship with food instead of, you know, avoiding it and drinking bone broth and slim gestions. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, what you need to do is take some matcha smoothies and bone broth all day long. Bone broth all day long. You're good. You're good to go. You won't have any issues with that.
And then this is dinner, which is typical.
Oh, yes. So here's the whole point. We have chicken, we have tomato basil stacks, we've got a little oil drizzle on here. Here's what you want to get.
Here's what you're going to want to get. What you're going to want to get, what the average person is going to want to get when they try to only eat 6 ounces of chicken, 4 to 6 ounces of chicken is what that looks like to me, 2 tomatoes sliced with some basil and some oil drizzled on it. What that person's going to want to get is a pizza. That's what's going to happen. They are going to be starving by the end of the day. Yet alone, by the end of day 10, they are going to be starving. If they are used to eating food, if they're a person that doesn't know anything about fitness, which normally means they're a little bit overweight, because I don't work out and they don't understand, they don't have a healthy relationship with food, and they have to listen to these two people to get crash diet advice. What they're going to want is a pizza. That's what they're going to want. They're going to want a pizza, especially after a few days, because they are going to be starving on this no deprivation diet somehow. They are going to be starving themselves to the point where they're going to be having dreams about food. They are going to be starving to the point where they want to walk in there and tell Dr. Oz to his face to fuck off.
Your meals, your slim gesture meals, have to have a really nice protein, a vegetable, and a healthy fat. That all helps us burn fat.
That does not help you burn fat. You burn fat by burning more calories through activity and your base metabolic rate than you ingest. Will a person lose weight on this crash-ass diet? Yes, they will. They will shed a lot of water weight. They are probably going to only be taking about 1,000 to 1,200 calories in a day. Their basal metabolic rate is probably somewhere around, at a minimum, even if they're lazy and don't do anything, somewhere around 17 to 1,800 calories a day, if not 2,000. So they're going to be having a caloric deficit of about 800 calories a day. 800 calories a day times 10 days is going to be 8,000 calorie deficit. 8,000 calorie deficit is a little over 2 pounds. They're probably going to lose 2 pounds of fat. That's true. I totally will buy into that in 10 days. If they don't cheat on this deprivation-ass diet. They're also not going to have nearly as much food in their stomach either, because they're used to having a ton of food. So when they go from eating a ton of food, you have a ton of food in process. You have a ton of stuff in process. They are going to have an empty system from a full system, and that can be in itself a couple pounds, just to be honest. It can be a couple pounds. So they are going to have a smaller waistline because they're going to have less shit in them, period. That's about it. This is the problem. This is really the problem. We as a society know so little about what we actually take in, what we actually eat, that we leave ourselves open to people to tell us what we can and can't do, because we do not impress upon ourselves enough activity and knowing about what we put in our mouths. As a society, we simply do not. So people can be taken advantage of very, very easily, because people want to be healthy. I believe that people inherently want to be healthy. They just don't want to have to inconvenience themselves in any way. So when somebody comes across, especially somebody that has a doctor in front of their name and says, you can lose weight in only 10 days and you don't have to suffer at all, you don't have to be hungry at all, people are going to buy into that. Especially when the person is on TV. And that's just my 2 cents in the matter. My name is Alan Roberts. Hit me up on Instagram at Everyday Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Everyday Fitness. I'm also on Facebook at Everyday Fitness. And on the internet at everydamndayfitness.net. Check out my second channel, Alan Roberts, in my opinion, of course. God damn.